Hello, welcome to More Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph, and today I'm going to play solo. Draco's over here as well, of course, Santa Draco. It's this War of Mine, the board game, is up on the table. Now, I will play solo because this is not a game for Draco, for small dragons, shouldn't play these kind of games. It could be a quite dark and depressing game at some points, but it's also very fun, and it's fun in the way that like you feel it's like a really hard co-op game, but when you finally sort of make it or you can help your characters out, then you feel good about yourself. So it's not just dark, but the theme is fairly dark. We're trying to survive as civilians during a civil war in some unnamed country, and we're in a house here trying to find food and medicine and so on, and it can be really rough. So hey Bjorn and Mikael. And the thing I really love about this game, it's in my top, I don't even remember now. I think it's in my top 20, top 25, something like that. It wasn't that long ago that I did my top 100. But anyway, the reason I really love the game is the game mechanics are fairly basic and easy and so on, but it's so thematic. It's such a cool, strong story feel in the game. You really feel like you're, part of what's happening. You're making choices, really tough moral choices and choices on how to keep your group alive and have them survive, and that's what makes the game so good. It's also a very special game because it's sort of there's no rule book for the game. The rules are sort of, it's like step by step. You have this journal that you go through, and if you play co-op, that's also some kind of way to try to get away from alpha gaming, which I think is pretty cool. Let's see here. So we're gonna start off. I did most of the setup, and I'm going to start to explain a few things. Normally in the game you use the book of scripts. There's a lot of story snippets in this one. I'm not going to use it though. I'm going to use the app. There's an app for your phone, which I think is really good, and it makes everything easier just using the app. And I had plans to connect it to my computer, so you could see it on the computer, which I didn't manage to get it to work right now. I will get a better computer soon, thanks to the Kickstarter backers, so then I will probably get to set it up. But I will just show it to you. It's going to work out fine. It's not that often that you do the story part anyway, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. I am using the eRaptor insert. Really nice. I have like here's all the resource tokens, and most of the insert is actually in the box, but I like that part, and I really like this little part here for all the statuses of the characters. That's good. I have that one as well. I can recommend that. And then what else is there? Well, let's go through the map. Now, I'm going to play on the advanced side of the board. I haven't seen anyone do a playthrough on YouTube with this side. Everyone's just doing the basic side that's on the other side. It might not be that smart. I mean, I have played this game a bunch of times. I'm familiar with it, but still, this is a little harder. This is harder at the beginning, at least. I only played once before on this side, and that was a while ago. So, yeah, it is a harder side to play on in some ways. On the other hand, if we can get into like over here, there's like a closed door, there's rubble we can clear up. Then there's some really cool spots over here where we can find items and so on. Actually, under these, like if we remove some of these parts here, like this heap here has like an action under it. So here we can poke about to find parts. Over here we can poke about to find wood components, and up here there's a wild garden. We can roll the black die, and we get 7 to 10, then we find some vegetable. That's awesome. Under here, this is actually 2 rubble cards, so this will take 4 actions to clear. Here's a poke about to find water, which is not that great from what I remember. I think I will get a water collector going if I can. And over here, if I can manage to get over there, because it's a bit tricky, there's like 2 ways. Either I could, if I find a saw blade early, then I can cut through these bars. I can get in this way and up to the storehouse. Or I might just go through the closed door and then all the rubble. That will take forever. But then I get the garden at the same time and so on. And in the storehouse, you can do an action to draw one of the furniture cards. So the furniture cards are not on the board on this side. Instead, you draw them from here, and you resolve one, and then you get rid of it. Basically, you can do this 5 times, which would be awesome. Another special thing on this side of the board is that, like on the other side, if you go outside, it's dangerous. You can be shot by a sniper, and sometimes you want to go outside because you want to find like a visitor to trade with or to take in a new character. But on this side of the board, if you go to the top floor, to the roof, then the sniper fire is there. So if I ever go up here, I will have to roll the black die. If I get a 1, we will get 2 wounds. So yeah, I'll probably don't. I won't go here unless there's like a panic to really do it. There's one thing, like, you need space to build on, which this card is a bit weird. You're supposed to have a rubble card up here. I don't know why I would go up here twice just to clear the rubble, risk getting shot, just to get one more space. I don't want to put fittings up here anyway, because that's too dangerous. The heap, I might go for the heap. I could go for the heap really early. The way is clear. I could just go straight up for the heap, but that would be a 1 in 10 chance to start with 2 wounds. I don't know if I want to do that. Alright. Then I'm also going to play, like, this is a bit strange here. So I have all the expansions on the table here. So it's the Tales from the Ruined City that came out 2018, and then 2019 at SM, but it's actually marked as a 2020 game or expansion, is Days of the Siege. Now, in here I have mixed in stuff from Tales from the Ruined City. I don't think I have mixed anything from Days of the Siege, because that's sort of a campaign mode, which sounds really cool. I have to try that at some point, but this is very confusing, because the thing is, I have the Kickstarter all-in edition with the stretch goals, and then they release the expansions, and so I have doubles of some things. I am going to play today with the dog and the cat, but I have double cards for the dog and the cat, and miniatures as well. I think it's very confusing. Anyway, we're gonna have the dog and the cat, and I haven't played with those before. And Martin has painted everything, so that's nice. A little cute cat over here. We can get. I was gonna say we shouldn't get too attached to these. We can get attached to the cat because I don't think he's going anywhere. If we look at the card, it says that once per day, at any time, I can roll the die. If I get a 1 to 4, he will wander off, but he will be back tomorrow. So I don't think he ever goes away. And then 5 to 7, I always liked cats. Then we will lower a chosen character's misery by 1. That sounds awesome. I think the cat is just to make the game easier. And then result 8 to 10, the cat has brought something, and then we get 1 raw food to the storage. So the cat can get us food, actually, which sounds really good. And by the way, I hope that the sound and everything is okay for the stream. Let me know if there's any issues. Let me know in the live chat so I can try to fix it. I'll be just talking here, so... hey, Alex and Ime. Oh yeah, Alex is saying I might need Draco to fend off some Night Raiders. Yes, Ime, I'm playing the harder mode. But from what I understand, this is not just harder. It's harder in the beginning, but if I can get to these good spaces, then it could actually be... it's different, at least. The dog, he's a bit tricky because we have to feed him. During the dusk phase, which is when we feed everyone in this game, if we don't feed the dog a raw food or a canned food, we have to roll the black die. On a 1 to 3, he leaves and he's out of the game. But he's also a guard. As long as we have the dog, we may always look at the top card of the Night Raids deck, which is awesome, so we can plan for the Night Raids. And then he has an ability saying, get him, boy. You may sacrifice a dog by removing the card to automatically flee from a combat if we brought him to the scavenging. So we can obviously do that as well. Or we can ignore 1 Night Raid card, which is what I'm planning to have him for, like, at some point. I will also say, I know this game is dark, and I know that this could be a sensitive subject for some people, so I'm sorry, but I have warned you. And I will say, don't show this video to your kids. It's a board game, but it's not for kids, because there's a really dark part of it. So yeah, I will tell you that there is an advanced rule, like there's some advanced rules that you don't really know about until you play the game for a few times, because you will discover them. I don't like the system, but anyway. So if we need to, we can eat the dog and the cat. I'm not going to do that unless it's like the last resort. But we could do that, which in that case, we would get 2 raw food for each of them. But I'm not going to do that unless, you know, we absolutely have to. Draco wouldn't have an issue eating a dog or a cat, but we're not going to get into that. He's a dragon after all. All right, so we start with some things here in our storage. We're going to have 3 characters. I haven't drawn those yet. I want to do that with you guys watching. We have some water, we have some raw food. And I will say, if you're watching this afterwards, I will put timestamps down in the description and in the timeline. So if you're watching this afterwards, you can just fast forward to when we start the game. There's a little bit of setup to do here. And what else is there? There's so many cards for this game, and this is such a huge board. I will have to reach over here to grab the cards during the game because they put all the cards on the board, which I do like. I like that everything is on there. It's kind of nice. Yeah, we have this area over here. We have all the painted miniatures over here. We are gonna play with this cool statue. So we're gonna play with Heart of the City, which is an again, I don't know which expansion it's from, or if it's from the Kickstarter. I don't know. But it's 5 cards. We can draw these. We can choose, like when we go to the scavenging, before we go home, we can choose if we want to go to the heart of the city on our way home, which we might do at some points. I haven't tried that before, so it sounds kind of cool. We also have the Desperate Measures expansion, or module. So these are some cards that, like, if during this game, people will probably die in different ways. And when that happens, when a character is removed from the game, you can draw 1 Desperate Measure card, keep it, and use it at any time. So these are like, these help us out. Because when someone dies or leaves our group, they might not die, they might just leave the group at some point. Then we will have to like roll for empathy to see if our other characters become sad or, you know, take psychological damage from that happening. But then to counter that, we also have the Desperate Measures. So we have some way to balance, you know, help us out. So I think we have a few things here that would help us. Like the dog and the cat will help us out a little bit. And then we have the Desperate Measures. The dog, we do need to feed the dog. So, well, I don't know. And the Heart of the City, I don't know if it makes the game harder or easier. I think it makes the game harder because basically everything you add to this game, like all the expansions, just makes the game harder and harder, which is crazy because the game is hard to begin with. Then I really like these miniatures. These are really cool. Again, I don't remember if they're from the expansion or from the Kickstarter or whatever. But I have these little guys. So basically it's like thugs. So basically they will be like, if you don't have them, then you put a token here to indicate if you meet someone, if they are armed and so on. Instead, we just put this is the melee weapon. We have these homeless people. This game is so sad. Then we put those as unarmed, and then we have the military guys. These will be the armed, with firearms. So that's just how you use these. And then we have a bunch of playable characters. We're not going to use all of these, obviously, but I want to randomize that up and see what we get. We start off with 3 characters, and again, like this token comes with the game, like the cat token. I think this is from the expansion, but then since I have the Kickstarter, I actually have the cat token there as well. All right, I think that's most of the setup. I have done the objectives in the setup. It tells you, it's very easy how you set that up. But you're not playing with everything, and I have put in some other stuff in there from expansions. There might be some objectives and events that wouldn't show up in the base game. Same goes for the visitor and characters. I put in some extra characters. When you play on this side of the board, there's no way to go and find new ideas. So instead you have access to all the fittings over there in one big deck. So normally, okay, now I gotta start reaching. I probably should be standing up playing this game actually. Because, yeah. So normally you only have access to these at the start of the game, and you can build a few different things here, like a radio, herbal garden, a workshop, a bed, and so on. But in this on this side of the board, the advanced side, you also have all of these improved. So we can like build we can build a chair, we can reinforce our door, we can improve the different fittings that we already have. We can build a second bed, or a third bed actually, I think it is. I think there's 2 beds in here. No, there's only 1. Okay, so we can build a second bed and so on, which also I think makes the game a little bit easier. We don't need to spend time going to the find new ideas spot. So that's some kind of balancing there. And we have the fate cards and narrative actions. Those are really good. The color deck. And I should also say, if you want to play this with, I don't know, maybe, 15-year-old or whatever, you can, like, this is the way that you can make the game a little bit friendlier. Because if you remove the red and the black, then these determine what kind of stories we will face. And by removing the red and the black, you make the game a little bit more friendly. Those are the worst ones, I think. If I remember correctly. Alright, enough preamble, I think. Let's get started playing. Get a sip of water, and then we are going to start off with the characters. So what we're going to do is, we're going to look at the character deck. By the way, I haven't sleeved the whole game. Like some of these cards you never shuffle, so I didn't see any point of sleeving them. But I sleeved the furnitures just now because we're gonna shuffle. I don't know. I have some card sleeves. But I hope it's not gonna be any glare because they are matte sleeves. Doesn't look like we have any glare. That's good. I love matte sleeves. Anyway, we're gonna take the characters. We're gonna shuffle these up, and we're going to draw. We're gonna have one red. The red characters are a little bit better. They're stronger. We're gonna have one. The first red we find, and the first two black backgrounds here on. So we're gonna have Emilia, which is not that great if I remember correctly. So Emilia, where is she? She has like a book. That must be Emilia. So she's going to be green, let's say. So we use these bases. Okay, so Emilia's here. She is a lawyer. And at the beginning of the dawn phase, Emilia may raise her fatigue by any amount to lower her misery by the same amount. So if she gets really miserable, we can sort of sort that out, and then we can send her to go sleep or something. And that will help out. So I just realized something. I wonder if you can, I'm not really sure. I think you can build things. Can you build things where the ladder is? Because if you can't, then we can't build anything. We have to get rid of something before we can build somewhere. Because this space is for sleeping on the floor. This space is like for the... Maybe this is a space. I don't remember. I don't think so. I think these spaces are for like the... This is for the guard, and this is for like the... where they stand when you don't do anything. Anyway, so we could, like, if she gets miserable, we could raise her fatigue and then have her go sleep to get rid of the fatigue. All the characters have a spirit thing, like A, B, and C. So she has a habit. She needs coffee, basically. So if we, at the end, we will see how that works. At the end of the day, we'll draw a card. If it says A, then she will have to have some coffee, or otherwise her misery goes up. B and C, if there are at least 2 cold tokens on the cold space, her misery goes up by 1. So she doesn't like it if it gets too cold in here. Yeah, so she's kind of miserable. She has a low empathy, though. She has 1 prowess. Prowess is that she can re-roll whenever she needs to roll dice. She has 3 inventory, so she can carry 3 things, which I think is the standard inventory size. Then we have Anton. Anton is not that great, because he has 0 prowess. He's a professor of mathematics, though. He has a high empathy, which is sometimes it's good, most of the times it's not good. His spirits are, he doesn't have any special ability either. If there is at least 1 book in the storage, he will read the book, and his misery will go down by 1, but his fatigue will go up because he's up reading instead of sleeping. V is if Anton is hungry, level 2 or 3, he will be ill by 1, and if he's wounded, his wounds will go up by 1. So he's not a great character, to be honest. He also has a book. Here we go. Poor Anton. It's not that great. I hope we get some really good third character here. And he also has 3 inventory, so he can't carry that much. All right, come on. Oh, here we go. Here's the third one. Okay, so that was our 3 characters just randomly. Hey, Sir Shamgard. Yeah, it is super fun. It's really dark though, but it's fun if you can just like take it with a grain of salt. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a game. But I will say, I have said in like when I talked about this game, because I have talked about this game a lot during like a few years since it came out, and I have promised over and over. I said to my viewers, I'm gonna make a solo playthrough of this, and I never done it until now. So finally, I'm catching up. And when I talked about it, I did say that I think this game, like, you're not really laughing when you're playing this game, but it's an experience, and it's an experience that teaches you something. Like, it's a piece of art, basically, this game. Like, teaching you, it gives you some food for thoughts about how some people actually have it in, right now in the world. And you know, you can see it from that side. Okay, so we have the third character here is Pavle. I don't know these names, how I pronounce them, but he's a soccer player, 1 prowess, he has 6 empathy. He has a special ability, Fleet of Foot. When Pavle is in the group fleeing from combat, reduce the number of backstab wounds by 2. It's not that often we're gonna flee from a combat, but yeah, okay. His spirit is A, no effect. B, if he's wounded, level 2 or 3, his misery goes up. And C, if there's a guitar, then he will play the guitar and someone will lower their misery by 1. So it would be a good idea to find a guitar. And he has 4 inventory. So, you know, this is the guy that's gonna go scavenging most of the time because he can carry a little bit more stuff there than the other ones. And here he is. He has his hands in the pockets like that and backpack. He's the orange character. Oh, that's awesome. So Sir Shamgar is saying that he's watching all my videos and he learned how to play Fallout the board game. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy that you did. It was, you know, that was a while ago. I think that was 3 years ago. Yeah, it's like exactly 3 years ago because I remember it because Fallout the board game and Civilization and New Dawn, those 2 videos were like my first 2 videos that really, well, and Civilization the board game, but those really took, you know, got some buzz and a lot of people were watching them and still are. And I put up both those videos in December 2017, and I took like all the records on the channel, and that's when the channel really hit, you know, started getting some buzz. And yeah, so but I do remember that quality of that video wasn't that great. I'm sorry. I have gotten a lot better. Like I have a studio these days and a lot of better equipment and so on. And I got more used to making videos as well. Right, so we have our crew. It's Emilia, the lawyer, Anton, the professor of mathematics, and Pavle, the soccer player, and the dog and the cat. They don't have any names, but I think it's, you know, we're gonna want to keep it that way because we don't want to get too attached. And we're not gonna eat the cat though because he's only positive. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. We have to feed the dog. That's gonna be so hard. And he can't eat vegetables. We have to have raw food for him. Wow. Raw food is like, I mean, canned food is the best. Then raw food and then vegetables. So, but then again, we can skip feeding him and just hope that we roll a 4 to 10. But it's a one shot, you know. If he goes away, then he's gone. I think we can find the dog in some story as well. He might show up again, I don't know. Or not, probably not the same dog. Anyway, let's get started playing. So, we are going to start off and we're going to do it like the first day I'm going to go step by step. And then I'm just going to pick up speed and play. Because when I play solo these days, I just, you know, play this game. I don't really go through all the steps. When you know the game. So basically this is, it's so weird. This is the journal. This tells you how to play the game step by step. But then there's like a bunch of rules that are not in this one that you have to sort of find as you go. And since I already found them, I sort of, you know, there's this thing on the online. You can go find a PDF with like all those hidden rules in it, which I did earlier today because I needed to remind myself. So a few things I will mention, like, well, mainly 2 things. One is we can eat at any time we want, and we can drink alcohol at any time we want. That's not in the base rules. That you can do that with the advanced rules. You can also, if we build something, we can disassemble it and get the components back. That's really cool. And the third thing, actually, that's really good is if we go somewhere and we scavenge, we find a lot of stuff, we can't bring it all home, then we can hide the stuff at that place and we can go back there next night or later on and perhaps pick them up again. Well, Bjorn is saying that it's the worst rulebook ever. It's not a rulebook. There is no rulebook. It's weird. Anyway. Well, it's sort of like this storybook. And in that book, there's like hidden rules, which I don't really know if I like that system. I'm a Euro gamer, you know. Maybe in some ways I do like it when I can read. Anyway. So we're going to start off. And let's see. Just make sure we did the setup. We did the characters. We put out the cards. Shelter cards. Event decks. Yeah, I think we've done all of this. All right. So, new day begins. I'm not going to read all the story text and everything like that, but we are going to draw and resolve the top card from the event decks. That's the first thing you do each day. So let's start with that. And so the first thing that happens here is always the same. You always get like, oh, chapter 1. And then I am going to read this to you. So, when the Civil War broke out, many people thought that it would only last a couple of weeks. It's been a year since the military surrounded the rebels in the capital, cutting off all supply lines. The civilians still trapped in the cities suffer from hunger, disease, and the constant threat of shelling. It's another day of desperate waiting for the end of this terrible war. Determine the objectives for each of the three chapters of the campaign. It says we're supposed to take these objectives, and we find the final objective card, which I still think it's a bit weird. It's only one. There are other final objective cards in the expansions, but those are connected to the campaigns, I think. So I haven't gotten into that. There's so much content for this game. There's so much stuff in those boxes. Like there's like the farmer expansion and the orphans. I would never play with the orphans. That's just, I don't want to bring kids into this. That's just too dark. And there's like a bunch of different. I haven't gotten into all of those. Then we are going to draw 2 more objective cards. And they are face up. You may look at them at any time. And remove the other one. And this is something I did miss. Like I remember the first time I played this with Martin, actually. Then we didn't realize that. But you can look at the objectives at any time. Not the final one, but the final one is always the same. So if you played a few times, then you know. But we're going to take 2 of these at random. Just put the other ones away. So we have spare parts. Oh, actually, we should do them in order. So we should do them like this. The first thing we need to do is black market goods. And this is from one of the expansions. I'm not sure which one. At any moment, we can discard any number of ammo or 100% alcohol without resolving their effects. For each discarded token, advance the objective marker 1 or 2 spaces. So if we give up alcohol, it moves 2 spaces. Reward is a favor. You may perform a trade to exchange tokens from the storage for any other token. So we can do a really good trade. Trade commission 0 as well. It doesn't cost us anything. Penalty though, if we don't do this, then we're going to have devastation. Discard 2 crafted fittings cards. That's terrible. Okay, second thing we need to do is, that's, oh wow, I got 2 expansion ones. Okay. Spare parts for smugglers. At any moment, you may discard any number of part tokens, electrical parts and mechanical parts. Those are actually easy to find. For each discarded part, advance the objective marker by 1, and the reward is add 2 moonshine to the storage. Penalty is a beating. Distribute 2 wounds between characters. Oh, this is so rough. Wow, this is gonna be tough. So basically, we're gonna play through like the first chapter. And by the end of that chapter, we need to have found a bunch of ammo and 100% alcohol to give to the black market, or like sell on the black market. Otherwise, we're going to have to give up fittings that we already crafted. That is terrible. Oh, okay. Put this over here. Well, actually, I guess it should be like this because we haven't done anything yet. So 0. And wait, we should draw an event as well, right? After resolve the card removed from the game. No. At the end of the no. Okay, that's the first. Okay, so this is the first day thing. We don't have an event happening yet, which is good. Do we get any cold? No. So later on, we're gonna get like events, and then they're gonna add cold as well, which is terrible. Okay, so that was the first step of the first day, or every day. Then you go on to, and this has like, this is a bit like a rule book. It explains like movement in the shelter, like how we can move and so on. So now it goes on to day actions. So everyone will do up to 3 actions, depending on, I will explain that in a moment. We can do actions, and one of them is to place a new fitting card. And doesn't say anything about ladders. I think you can place stuff where the ladders are actually. Then we go to, let's just do them one at a time. So let's do the day actions first. Wait, I'm not really sure what you're asking now, Ime. Is that even theoretically possible? Oh, you mean the objective? I think the only chance to do it is if we can trade. If we could trade for ammo, I don't think ammo is that expensive. Ammo is, they cost 3. If we could get like 5 ammo basically through trading, that could be possible. Or I guess we could also be lucky and just find some ammo or some alcohol. But it's gonna be tough. And the worst thing is, like, this could destroy the whole game. Because if we don't complete that, then, like, if we build a bed and something else now, and then at the end of chapter 1, they will be gone and we'll have to build them again. I don't know. Alright, so let's do the day actions, and I'm going to show you how this works. So down here, our characters now, I should put this in some other way so that I can have it like this maybe. So they all start out being hungry. They all have hunger 2 to start the game. And if we take a look at one of these tiles, so we have the white dots and the black dots. So basically, since we have hunger 2, we only have 2 actions instead of 3. If we get rid of, if we only had hunger 1, then we would have 3 actions, which is actually might be something we want to do. I don't know. I'm considering that. So now we can do actions, and this is like worker placement stuff. Now I will say, since I'm playing with the advanced rules, we could eat a raw food right now. And raw food brings down hunger by 1, which means we would go to hunger 1. Why would we not do this, by the way? I'm a bit confused here, because the thing is, when we get to dusk, after this, everyone will have to eat. Or you raise hunger by 1. There's no reason for us not to eat right now. Because the thing is, even if we eat now, if you eat right away in the middle of the game, you will get the effect. So like the hunger will go down 1 if you eat raw food. But then at dusk, you will need to eat again. But if we don't eat at dusk, then the hunger will go up to 2 again. Which means we got 3 extra actions by doing this. Oh, Bjorn checked it. This is my number 22 game of all time. Right now. It's been higher up on my list actually as well. But anyway, so that's interesting. I mean, it doesn't say here, like normally in the game, you start playing the game, it doesn't say that you can eat at any time, but the advanced rule says that you can eat at any time, but then you have to eat again at the dusk phase. So I'm gonna play by that, which I think makes the game quite a bit easier actually, but I can need it. I'll take any help I can get. I'm gonna eat 1 raw food for each character, which means they all go to hunger 1. I'm not planning to have any food for the dog. The dog is a gamble. We'll see if he stays. So I've eaten my food preemptively. And I like that you can do that, because like if you play the computer game, this game is based on a computer game that's really, really good. I played that game for hundreds of hours. I played it through and through in all kinds of variants. And in that one, of course, you can go eat at any time you want, which makes sense as well. So, all right, so everyone has eaten. We don't have, we have hunger 1. They're a little bit hungry, but everyone has 3 actions, which is really good. All right, so let's get started doing things. And actually, well, let's do this. Why not? Let's do this right away. I don't see any reason to wait on this either. So it says that the cat, we can, once per day, at any time, we roll the black die. And if we get an 8 to 10, then we get some raw food, which we could feed the dog with. So that would be a nice 1-2 combo with the cat and the dog. So let's roll it up, and let's bring in, using the Draco dice tray. Really cool dice tray, Draco on it. You can get these at some points later on the channel and so on. It will be for patrons and Kickstarter backers and in giveaways and so on. Actually, you can get one of these on tomorrow, because tomorrow Santa Draco is doing his yearly traditional Christmas giveaway. So tomorrow at 10 Central European Time PM, or which is 4 Eastern PM tomorrow, we will do a live stream where Draco will give away some fun stuff, and you can get one of these. Which will be cool. All right, so let's roll it up. I need to get a 8 to 10 would be great. and I should roll in a 6. Okay, so 6 was kind of wasteful right now. So 6 is that we like cats, so one of the characters lowered their misery by 1. Nobody is miserable right now, though, so that didn't do anything. But it didn't hurt anything either, so that was good. A good try. I like the cat so far. All right. So then we do actions. And when you do actions, you can basically you can move anywhere you want as long as it's connected. We could go up here right away because we can get to the roof. But if we do, then we have to put ourselves out for sniper fire. I will also say this game, there's some issues with the rulebook that doesn't exist. There's some issues with the rules. Because on the board, it says over there that before you do an action up here, you have to roll for sniper fire. But down here, it says advanced side of the board, read this section to learn about it. In that section, it says that after you did the action, you roll the die. It's like contradicting itself. And the only difference that is if you already were wounded, level 2, you went up here and you get shot, then you die. But that's not the case now anyway. So okay, let's get going. So I think we are going to not gamble on that because it's a 1 in a 10, but it would just be so terrible if we get 2 wounds right away. And if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it on the 3rd action because if we take a look at the wound tile, if we get 2 wounds, then you lose 2 actions. So you don't want to do that as the 1st action. That would be really stupid. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to... Well, we can't get through bars right now because we don't have a saw blade. That's like a priority, actually, to get a saw blade. Because I really want to get into here. There's like 3 heaps we can search here. But I think because we don't know if we will find one... Oh, the tricky thing is like spending time on rubble is pointless because you don't get anything from rubble. And this is where this side of the board is hard because in order for us to poke about and find wood and components, we have to get here. On the other side, you can do it right away, but we can't here. So I guess someone will pick a door lock. Doesn't matter who really. So Pavle will go and try to pick. He will take the lock pick with him. We started with. He will try to pick the lock of the door. Anton will take the shovel and go up here and start digging up some rubble, which doesn't really do that much for us. This space is weird as well. Because the thing is, I don't know if you can help me out here, if anyone in the chat knows this, but there's a hole over here. We need to board up these holes with like these board up tokens, which is also a priority, by the way. And it's over there, and there's rubble here, and I don't understand why is there rubble before. Is it because like can't we board this up unless we first clear the rubble? I think that's what it's supposed to be. And I think it's the same over here. We need to get rid of this door before we can go there. And if we get rid of this door, we can also search down here. That would actually be good. Let's go for this first instead then. Do the lockpick down here. Because the thing is, if we open the door, the lockpick will break. Dog and cat are not obviously doing anything. So where is Emilia going then? She can't do anything. Just realized that. She can't do anything. Unless she goes up there, but... Wow! Okay, I haven't played on this side of the board in like 2 years. And I realize now how tricky this is. So you don't have 3 things you can do on the first... Well, she can build something. That's... Yeah, I guess that's what she's gonna do then. So let's have her build something down here. We have some components, we have some wood. Let's see what we can build. I don't remember off of my head. What can you build in that case? We don't have mechanical parts. So we don't have 5 components. We can't build a simple heater. We could build a bed. And we want to build a metal workshop because that's how we do the board ups, I think. No, that's how we do the saw blade. We want to build the, what's the other one called? Workshop. workshop is really important because then we can do more board ups. But also, I would like to do this as well, the rainwater collector. That's really good. I didn't realize how good the rainwater collector was until I watched a playthrough recently from Meet Me at the Table, which is a really cool YouTube channel, by the way. I can recommend him. And he built this one, and I never done it in my place. We could also do these advanced ones right away. So we could build a chair, which will lower everyone's misery by one. So you want to do that at a point when they are miserable, right? We could build, yeah, a bed. Okay, so we are gonna build a bed. That's the only thing really that we can build right now. So she's gonna build a bed, which takes 3 components. It's a good idea to get the bed anyway, 4 wood. I like the components in this game, but I don't like that the wood is like, it looks like metal. It's like, I don't know. That's just strange. Okay, so she's building this. This is her action. And so we have a bed. And when we can take a nap, this is an action to take a nap, lower the fatigue by 2. And you can sleep in the bed for the whole night, and then you get rid of all the fatigue. Really nice. That's her thing here. Then we have, yeah, water is important to produce food as well. Like if you have water, we can cook the food, which makes it better. So we're gonna do the rubble. So basically when you do the rubble, it's kind of boring. You just flip this card, you don't get anything. But now we got rid of some of the rubble. Like it started out like that, now it's down to here. And then we need to do it again. You need to have a shovel or 2 characters. So he's done. These guys can go back. And now we're going to try to do the lockpick. The way the lockpick works normally is that you do, you roll the die. If you get 1 to 3, nothing happens, but you get to keep the lockpick. If you get 4 to 10, you open the door, but then you discard a lockpick. You can also, which is kind of cool, I'm not really sure that I'm not going to use it because I haven't practiced, but in the app, so this is the app. In the app, you can, this is where we're going to find like all the story things and so on. Instead of using the book, it's much easier to do it like this. You can also, there's a few other things you can do in the app, which is kind of cool. You can scavenge, so you can have like a timer here for when you do scavenge, which I will never play that on camera at least. You can do lock picking. You can do like a little mini game here where you're trying to get these. Oh, that wasn't good. I'm really bad at this. Okay, I'm gonna fail this one, but you need to get, there we go. You need to get them like that. And see if I can do this. No, I was too quick. Okay, so this is a way you can do the lock picking instead of rolling the die. But as I said, I haven't really practiced that. I'm not good at it. You know, this game is hard as it is, so I am going to ignore that for this playthrough. I'm just going to roll the die like a normal person. So what I need to get here is a 4 to 10. Let's see if we can do that. So come on, 4 to 10, and we got a 5. All right. So, and this is like the Kickstarter die. I'm not really sure. It looks nicer, but I'm not really sure if it's easier to see for camera use. But anyway, we got a 5. So that means that the door is unlocked. We lose the lockpick, sadly, though. And we look at the back of this card. So we did find something here. So we found 1 component and 1 wood. Right. We add those. And this card is gone. And now we have access to this space where we can search. I like that. Because then we can find heap findings from the findings deck even though we're at home, which is really cool. Alright, so that was our first action. And I would like to have, actually I just realized that I used to have something to, some tokens to just keep track of that, because when I do when I talk to the camera and everything, that could get confusing. So I'm just gonna grab something. Have a bunch of tokens of so let's see if I can found some nice tokens. They keep track actions they have, because after a while one guy has like 3 actions, one has 1. It gets confusing. And I have these that I got from Essence Spiel, and I don't remember where I got them from. It's still sad because I met some I was in some booth where they made these kind of like upgraded components for games. And then I got like a business card, but yeah, they gave me these at least, which are really cool. It's like little boxes. Get some focus here. There we go. So it's like wooden boxes with metal bars. It's really cool components. I would like to use them in some games. They actually fit with the theme here. It looks like this box. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to use them as indicators of actions. So I'm just going to have it so that basically he had 3 actions. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it like this. I could just have a die, I guess. Just didn't find a die quickly there. So they started off with 3 actions each, and then I just remove 1 because everyone has done an action. That way I keep track. So now I will do the second action for everyone. So we do have an issue now because I don't think we have enough. Yeah, we don't have. Maybe we should have picked this door. I mean, she can go down here. She can do the search. And he will go and just keep digging, get this done with. And then we don't really have an action for the third guy. So, I mean, in the next day, he could take a nap. But right now, he's not tired anyway. He could go up there. I don't know. Should he do it? What do you guys think in the chat? Should I risk it and just go to the top of the... It's a 1 in 10 get shot, so... I'm gonna let you decide, so I don't need to take responsibility myself. So you decide, do you want me to gamble a little bit here in the beginning? It would be really helpful if we just go do the heap. Alright, Emi is waiting. Okay, he's gonna go do the heap. And let's roll it up then. I'm gonna start over there so we know what, you know. So, the sniper fire on the roof. And we're gonna roll the die. It's a 10-sided die. Come on. Come on. I hope you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. So the plan for this playthrough was to continue tomorrow. Because, you know, I thought maybe, you know, this game can take like 6 hours. But this might be a short playthrough. We just rolled a 1. What? That's so crazy. Alright, so we have someone wounded. 2 wounds on... I didn't think this through. I shouldn't have sent Pavle then. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. If I had thought this through, I would not have sent Pavle. I would have sent... Okay, so we're gonna cheat a little bit. It was Anton that went up there. I care less for Anton. So he already has... They're all doing a second action, by the way. So he already has 2 wounds. He got shot by a sniper. Alright. That's a great start. Okay, so now he doesn't have any more actions either. But at least he searched the heap. Action token. And this is why I should have sleeved all the cards because it's hard to grab. So we found a bunch of stuff. We found a weapon part. See here. Weapon part. Red token. And alright. We found 5 components. This is just like some kind of generic item, right? Components. 2 wood. And a sugar. Right? There we go. Poor Anton. especially since it wasn't even Anton that went there first. But you know, we just decided to, you know, Pavle ran down. Anton said to Anton, "You can go up. It's safe." Anton went up. All right. There's gonna be some dark humor in this playthrough, I think. So we got a bunch of stuff, which was good. Now let's do the search here. So we want to get an 8 to 10 because then we will get some stuff. It's like we're searching a heap, which will be really good. 8 to 10, come on. And that's another 1. What's right? We didn't get anything. Then over here, Pavle used a shovel. Get rid of this rubble. You don't get anything from getting rid of the rubble. It's gone. Okay. So one more action for 2 of them. Well, we're definitely going to go here again. And we're not gonna go up. But since we don't, this is so hard, we don't have a lockpick. So yeah, this side is harder in the beginning here. Until we can find we need to get through these bars. That's the main thing here. So I guess, well, could we build something? We did get some stuff there. We still don't have like a mechanical or electrical part, so we can just ignore all of those cards. We can build a simple heater. We could build a metal workshop. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. That makes sense. Then to get a saw blade, we need a weapon part, which we have, and a component. Oh, that's really easy. So we can do the saw blade tomorrow and get it. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so he's gonna go build. He's gonna build here then, and it's 5 components. That's a lot, but we just found it, so it's okay. And 3 wood. And we have a metal workshop. Right, and she's gonna search again. Let's see what she can get. 8 to 10, come on. That's a 9. Nice. Alright, so then we will do draw and resolve a card from the finding deck. So we're gonna shuffle this up, and it's a heap. But we don't get the special findings. Like, I'm gonna show you here. So we look at the heap, and normally we would get the special findings, which is rolling the black die, and then we will find something on the location we're on. But since we're not on a location, we are going to get these things. So it's actually good things here. We're getting a mechanical part, which is good here in the beginning. Some points later on we might have too much of this stuff, but mechanical part. We found another weapon part, and we also found a shell. It's like this is like generic ammo, so this goes to any gun. Well, you need to the shell is not loaded. You need to make it into ammo by loading it, which you can do it with some fitting as well. I don't think I ever built that one. I built it in a computer game, but not in this one. This was tricky. Where's that? There's the weapon part. And these, all these tokens are finite. So like if you run out of something here, then you can't get it anymore. That was pretty good, and I like that spot. We're gonna keep going here every day. Just find stuff. So that was enough. So that was all the actions. We have no more day actions. So now we're going to go into the next part here, which is the dusk. And now we already have an issue here, because now everyone needs to drink water. So we only have 2 water. We have 3 characters. You guessed it, Anton. This is gonna be so terrible. I'm just gonna be such a bully to Anton. Poor guy. He's not gonna get any water because he's already wounded and miserable. Well, he's not miserable, but he's wounded and hungry. Okay, so these guys get water, and if you don't give someone water, you have to roll the die. I'm actually not going to use the die tray because it's just annoying to pull it out. We can just roll here. So we're just rolling 1 die. So if we roll a 1 to 5, his hunger will go up. If we roll a 6 to 10, his misery will go up. And that's a 9. So he got miserable. So he has misery level 1, which is not that bad. All these go up to 4, by the way. If they ever hit 4, then that's not good. Then we need to feed everyone. And so everyone has to eat a food. And if we don't feed them, they will raise their hunger by 1. We don't have any food because they already eaten today, which I think was smart anyway. But I should have, of course, gone, I don't know. I could have done it better, I guess. I would have gone upstairs with the last action. Because now he basically lost his last action by getting shot. So everybody's hunger is at 2, which is what they started with. So I think this is what you should be doing if you're playing with the advanced rules. You should always just eat right away, because then they start at hunger 1, you get an extra action. Especially if you play on the other side of the board, because then you can do stuff with those actions. But we also have the dogs. So since we're not feeding him, we have to roll. I don't want to lose the dog. Come on. That's a 10. Oh, wow. Nice. Okay, so nothing happens. He's hungry, but he's not going anywhere. 1 to 3, he just leaves the game. Then we go into the evening. So now we get to choose. We have to assign them to something so they can sleep in a bed. Then they will get rid of all their fatigue. We could have done there. But they are not fatigued right now, so it doesn't matter. We could sleep on the floor, which will lower their fatigue by 2. Now you would only do that if you don't have a bed, right? Or if you don't have like enough spaces in the bed. And then we have the guard duty. So during the night, there might be some people showing up here. We need to have someone guarding the shelter. So we are going to have Anton guarding. And Emilia and Pavle are going to go out scavenging. And that's the main part of the game. It's like a separate mini game in itself in some ways. So that's like, you have the day phase where you're doing worker placement, and then you have the night phase where you're doing scavenging, which is like a whole little mini game in itself. So we're gonna pan over here, camera, and it's a bit far away, but I'm gonna show you the cards as we go. So we put them out here because they are outside scavenging in the city. Now we need to determine where they are going. We have 3 different spots that we know about. We have the quiet house. It's far away though. We have the construction site and the city hospital. Depending on which one we go to, like if we go to the city hospital, and this is not really that it's close to us, because these will move, and then it doesn't make any thematic sense anymore that the places move. It's more like how fast can we get there? Like if you're playing the PC game, then you have like a timer basically. So when the sun rises, you need to get back home because it's not safe to be out during the days in the city. And the same thing is simulated here. Like if we know where to go, like we know how to get to the hospital. So that's why we have 14 cards here. We have 12 there and we have 10 there. We have more time basically. That's what the cards represent. So if we're gonna go to, I think we're gonna go to the hospital to get as much time as possible. On these cards as well, I will show you this. There's a lot of things to look at here, but so in this place we will have, there might be a closed door, there might be a basement entrance, and there might be bars. There's no rubble, which means we don't need to bring the shovel, because the shovel also weighs 1, so we don't want to bring it if we don't have to. We can find chems here, we can find herbal meds, we can find alcohol, which would be nice because we need to give that to the objective, right, or pay it. We can find meds, and we can find bandages, which would be awesome if we want to heal Anton. We could also go here and just return 4 exploration cards to heal. We can just go to the hospital to heal. We could go here to trade. And then we can also have a look around the area. There's a lot of stuff on this, just one card, but there's a lot of stuff going on. But what we do is, we're going to take this exploration deck. We're going to get 14 cards. Hey Uffe. Merry Christmas. I'm on the first day. I've gone through some explanations and stuff and set up, and I'm playing on the difficult side, or the advanced side, so I already been shot by a sniper, or Anton was. I don't know why he went up to the roof. Crazy. Okay, 14 cards. 5, 12, 14. We take these 14 cards, we put them on the unknown pile. So this is our timer for our scavenging during the night. And we'll go through them one by one. And that's sort of, we might meet residents, we might find stuff, and so on. So we start off with a heap. We found a search the heap. So we can ignore the card, or we can search the heap. And we can always also end exploration. We can just get out of here if we need to. So we can do this in two different ways. Either we return to exploration cards. So basically we spend time, our timer ticks down, and we raise the noise by 1. So this is our noise meter over here. And it's 1 to 8. And the more noise we make, the bigger the risk is that we will meet some residents, which might be trouble. Or we can raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. So if we raise it by 1, we will go to 2, then we roll the die. As long as we roll higher than whatever this is on, then we're fine. But if we would roll a 1 or a 2, we will meet a resident. And we will do this in order to draw and resolve a card from the finest deck heap chart. So we will find some stuff. And I think we're gonna raise the noise by 1 and roll for noise. So we're gonna roll, and as long as we don't roll a 1 or a 2, we're fine. It's gonna be a tough run. It's already a tough run. We already got sniped. There we go. And that's a 4, so we're fine. No noise, nobody heard us. Now we look at the findings deck. We are going to get a card from here. We're going to look at the heap chart. So the heap chart says, and now this is interesting because now we get to roll the die as well. So we get some ammo, which is perfect because we need ammo for the objective, right? That's good. A little bit of luck there. And everything we find now, we're going to put up here in the findings pile. Then when we go home, we're gonna bring these things with us. We're also gonna find some chems. Don't really use chems for that much. It's like if you have a trap trying to find rats and so on. I think it's for the garden as well. And then we're gonna roll the die and get something. So that's a 1, which means we get nothing. If we had rolled a 4 or higher, we would have gotten something. All right, so that was the findings. That was the first card. And then we are going to keep going here. So we will have a tough luck roll for the noise. That's just bad. Someone might have heard us. Let's see. And it's a 7, so we're fine because the noise is at level 2. Next up we have, I think I saw something. Return as many exploration cards as you wish and roll the black die. Add the number of the returned cards to the result. 1 to 5, we have to meet someone. Now, I will also say in the beginning here, when you set up the game, you take a bunch of cards here, and that you don't include, like they are marked in a certain way. Yeah, I can show it you like this. They have like an exclamation mark. So these are not in the game to start off with, and these are like the worst residents you can meet. At the end of each day, we will have to add some cards into these decks to make it harder for ourselves. So right now, it's not that dangerous to meet someone. I'm not that worried about it. It could be bad, but I don't think it's that bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to return any cards for this. I'm just going to roll. If we roll 1 to 5, we will meet someone. And I rolled a 5. Okay, so we are going to meet someone. So let's see who it is. And again, there's a bunch of residents here. Some of them are not really that bad. We found some civilians. Okay, so we met some civilians. And it says, it turns out that there are miserable looking people hiding here. Mostly the elderly, women and children. Place this card on the exploration slot. Until we leave this location, whenever we take something from an exploration card marked as private, we have to roll the black die and compare the result with the empathy of each character present. So it's basically, this doesn't stop us from taking stuff, but if we take stuff that are marked as private, we will be stealing from the civilians, and that might, make us miserable because if we have empathy. We can also talk to them and we can trade with them. I would like to trade, but we don't really have anything to trade away. So if we had some good stuff, we could trade with them. We could talk to them, though. We'll see. We're going to have to put it here, and this is active for the rest of this, as long as we are in this place. So let's keep going. We are... Oh, basement entrance. So this card is special because we have to look at the... We have to look at the location we're in. And look like if there's a basement entrance here or not. If there were no basement entrance here, we would just discard this and draw another card instead from the exploration deck. But since there is a basement entrance here in the hospital, we are going to have to resolve this. We can enter by raising the noise by 3 and rolling for the noise. That's really tough. And... okay, so this says if there is a basement entrance, which there is, You may resolve this card immediately or place it in the exploration slot and resolve it later instead of drawing a new exploration card. So we don't have to do this right away. And if we manage to get in here, then, well, we will manage to get in here. But after we resolve the noise, we will add 5 cards to the exploration deck, and we can discard this card during the scavenging to draw 2 findings instead of 1. That's really good. But I don't think, I'm not going to do it right away. Or am I? No, I'm not going to do it right away. I'm going to have it here. We'll see. We might do it later on. Let's keep going here. We have a jammed door again. There's no jammed door here. Means we discard this. We draw another card to replace it. But we draw from the exploration deck, not from the unknown deck. So it's not like we're wasting time. It's just that this doesn't work in this location. So here we go. Here's a pantry, but it's marked as private. So we can search it, but we might get miserable because we're stealing from these civilians. We can ignore the card or search the pantry. We need food. We need to find food. Pantry sounds like a good place to find food. So we're going to do it. So return 2 exploration cards or raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. We're going to raise the noise by 1. We're going to roll for the noise. It's a 6, so we're fine. Then we're going to find a card here that says pantry. And there's we can actually look at this. Unless if we don't take anything, then they don't care. But we can look at it. So there's coffee, a vegetable, and 2 alcohol. Oh, we're definitely gonna take this. 2 alcohol. That is 4 steps on our objective. That's almost completing. And we have the ammo. We find the ammo, so we can complete our objective on day 1 or day 2, basically, when we get back home. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna take this stuff. No debate about that. We also need the vegetable, food, and this is also something I think is cool in this game, that the tokens are actually shaped like little bottles. So I found 2 bottles of alcohol, and it's worth 10 each. This is really expensive stuff. So I mean, I would like to have it for trading, but since we have that objective, we were not sure. We might not find alcohol in a long while. So I'm not gonna trade it away. I'm gonna use it for our objective. Then we get to roll the die as well. This is 9, which means we get some meds. Oh wow, nice. We find some medicine as well. Awesome. Okay, getting lucky right now. But now, since we were stealing stuff, we have to roll for empathy. And now we look at the characters. It says that if we roll equal to or less, which means the higher the empathy they have, the harder this will be. Because if they are very empathetic, then they will, care about stealing from civilians. Emilia doesn't really care. She's a 3. Let's roll for Emilia. And that's a 4. She doesn't care at all. She needs stuff. Pavle has 6 though. Come on, Pavle. And a 1. Okay, so Pavle got sad. He didn't like that we were stealing. So his misery goes up by 1. So it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was definitely worth it for the stuff that we got. Even though, of course, it's cruel decisions. Yeah, it's terrible to be stealing from civilians here. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So let's keep going here. Another exploration card, and there's a door. We can peek through the keyhole. We return 1 exploration card to look at the next card from the unknown deck. Or we can just enter, raise the noise by 1, or roll for the noise. I think we're just gonna... Or we can end exploration. We're just gonna raise the noise by 1. We don't need to roll. It's raise the noise by 1 or roll for the noise. We just raised it. We keep going. Stairs up. Look for another way. We can return 2 exploration cards, or we can enter, raise the noise by 2, and roll for the noise. The thing is that we are gonna meet someone. I kind of counted on that. So we're gonna raise the noise by 2, and we're gonna roll for the noise. So it's a 6, and rolled 4. Okay. The thing is though, now we lower the noise to 1, and we resolve the resident. More civilians. That's kind of what I was hoping for. That wasn't anything bad. So basically, I'm not really sure how this works, but these kind of games, really thematic games, sometimes the rules are a little bit iffy. I'm just gonna go with what makes sense. we found more people, basically, more civilians, which means I'm just going to double the effect. So if we get another private card, we will have to do 2 empathy rolls. We're just going to double the effect. So I think that makes sense. Tell me in the chat if you have any other solution for that, but I don't know what the rule says about that. And again, there's no rule book, so I can't look it up, which is so weird. All right, let's keep going. And stairs down. Look for another way. These cards are just pointless. Return 3 exploration cards or raise the noise by 3 and roll for the noise. We're just gonna. I'm not that scared of meeting people right now, because we don't have those nasty cards, and that's a 7, so we're fine. Keep going. Someone's here. Raise the noise by 3. Really getting lucky here or not? Sure. These cards, they don't do anything for me. Just annoying. Raise the noise by 1 or roll for the noise. Let's just raise the noise by 1. So it's up to 8. Reality impact. Okay, so this is something that exists in the game. All these decks in the game have these reality impact cards. When you draw one, something unexpected has happened. So now we get into the story part of the game. Something will happen and it will be determined randomly. What we do is we draw a card from the colors deck. And again, this is where the game can be really nasty. If you want to make it more family friendly, you can remove the red and the black from this deck, which I haven't done. So, you know, again. Yeah. Here we go. It's going to be black. All right. Awesome. So we're going to start off with the black card. Then we're going to, or like a black chart. Then we're going to look at we're going to draw the top card from the exploration deck. So over here. And we look at the black number here. And this number says 525. So that's the card. I don't know. Do we discard this? It doesn't say to discard it, but I'm going to discard it because otherwise I know what it is. So, and then we're going to find the number. So 525. This is when we go into the app. And we are going to type in. Here we go. 525. I'll see what this is. All right. I'm going to read this out. I don't think. Maybe, can I hold it in a way that you can see it? I think so. Somehow. When we first heard the distant, painful moan, we thought it was all in our heads. 15 minutes later, we're sure someone is really suffering out there in the street. There's a mixture of voices. They're all different. Some nearer, some further away. All of them full of pain. We look out the window in horror. We spot signs swaying in the wind saying murderer, rapist, thief, and then murderer again. All along the alleyway, people have been nailed to street poles. Some of them are still alive. They're mostly men, but there's also some women and teenagers. When did they manage to commit all these crimes? Who had the authority to dole out this punishment to them? And why do the expressions on their faces contradict what it says on the signs? Back to the game. That's the game. It's so dark, and the worst part of it all is like, yeah, so that happened, and it didn't lead to anywhere. We didn't get anything from it. We didn't make a decision or anything. It was just some dark story text. Yeah, that's so depressing, but it's a game. All right, let's keep moving then. So we found a heap, but this is private. So this could be really nasty if we go search it. I think we're going to do it anyway. This game you can't play safe. You have to gamble. So we can return 2 exploration cards. We only have 2 left here, so we're not going to do that. Or we can raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. We can't raise it anymore because it's already at 8, which means we're just going to roll. And we got a 6, so we're going to meet someone. And we met some okay, we met some rebels. Okay. Determine the number of rebels encountered. Roll the black die. We're going to see how many they are. It's 3 of them, okay? Then we're going to see... 1, 2, 3 is 1. Okay, so it's only 1 of them. And then we're going to draw a token here. We have a bunch of tokens with a question mark on. And I did shuffle these earlier on, so we're just going to draw one randomly here. And it's a B prowess. So B is that he has a pistol. It's a guy with a pistol. And one of these military guys. Oh, we actually don't need this token. We just put the military guy there. Indicate that it's someone with a weapon. So this guy is here. It says he has a pistol and not a shotgun. Don't really know what difference that will make. But we need to remember that he has a pistol, I guess. And yes, we do need... Yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. It's just one guy. But I think we should keep the tokens as well. More like just thematic, that there's a miniature here instead of just a token. So it says that the rebel... He's offering us some items. He has 1 moonshine and 1 cigarette to exchange. And then the trade commission is 2. So to even do this trade, we have to pay 2 in trade commission. All the items have a value on them. So like these chems have a value of 1. If we do not trade, then we have to roll the black die and see the result, which is in the book. If we trade, we can return an exploration card to talk to him or trade with him again, basically. I don't know. I don't have... Like, I have ammo that is worth 3, but I don't want to give up the ammo. I need it for the objective. I don't want to give up my vegetable. I don't want to give up the meds. A moonshine and cigarette. I don't have any smokers. Nobody's smoking in my team here. I don't need cigarettes. What's the value of these things? So cigarettes are 1. Moonshine is 3. I don't want moonshine. I want to trade for that. I'm not going to trade with this guy. I don't want his stuff. If you do not trade, roll the black die. If we roll a 1 to 5, we have to look at 779. And I roll a 4. Okay. He's probably going to be mad. Because we didn't trade with him. Okay, this could go really downhill quickly here. We'll see. So it's 779. Say that again. No, look at this. The peaceful attitude of the rebels is gone before we can finish the sentence. Okay, so now we can choose. We let them beat us. This game. Distribute 2 wounds among your characters and raise the misery by 1 on each character. Or we can fight. And if we fight, we can try to stop the fight, or we can see after defeating all enemies. He has a pistol. We don't have any weapons. We're not gonna fight him. And the thing is that... Oh, this was so bad. We should have just traded with him. Well, I'm not doing takebacks. So... Wait, there we go. So are we going to let him beat us? No. I think we're going to try to stop the fight. I think that's what we're going to do. Not like that could be that much worse than just taking 2 wounds and getting 2 misery. We're going to try to stop the fight. Okay. Trying to stay alive, we attempt to stop the fight and negotiate. We give some of the loot back. Discard tokens with a total value of 10 from the findings pile. They leave us alone. But we also have to roll the black die. If we roll an 8 to 10, we take one wound. One of us could sacrifice themselves so that the rest can make a run for it. Well, where's Anton when we need him? We could surrender and beg for mercy. Roll the black die. At a 1 or a 2, we take 2 wounds. 3, 4, we take 1 wound. If we roll a 5 or more, no wounds are suffered. Oh, but then we get rid of all the tokens from the finding pile, so that's not going to happen. So it's basically just bad options here, no matter how we do it. We can sacrifice a character, just get rid of it from the game. No. Okay, so we're going to give some loot to them. So we're going to give them tokens with a value of 10. We're going to give them the meds, because we don't need meds right now. So it's a value of 10. So we're giving them some meds, saying like, please don't fight anymore. They leave us alone. We have to shuffle this card back into the residence deck, but we have to roll the black die. If we get 8 to 10, we each character takes 1 wound. All right. And we rolled a 3. Okay, so we're fine. So all that happened really was that we lost the meds. That could have gone a lot worse, but I guess we should have just traded with them. That would have been the smart thing to do, I guess. But yeah, it's an interesting experience anyway. Bjorn is talking about banana fish. I don't think you can use banana fish in this game. In Robinson Crusoe, which we're going to play on Monday actually. So on Monday it's going to be live stream with Robinson Crusoe where Andreas and Mats, my friends, are also going to be in it over Zoom. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to have the game set up on the table. I'm going to play. They're going to help out, or we're going to play together. But I'm going to handle all the tokens. In that game though, there's banana fish. Anyway, I think that was fine. We met them. We lost our meds. We don't need meds right now. This military guy is not there anymore. So we're gonna continue the exploration. This is a long day, by the way. So much things happening here. So hideout. You may ignore this card or return as many exploration cards as you wish and lower the noise by the same amount. By the way, the noise should be at 1 because we did encounter someone. We don't need to do this. Last card is Search the Heap. And this is not private. Perfect. Oh, I'm so happy for that. I'm going to raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. 8, so we're fine. And we're going to search the heap. So we're going to find some more stuff, which is nice. Because right now, our characters can carry 3 plus 4. So we can carry 7 things back home. Right now, the only thing that weighs anything is the alcohol. So we have 2 weight. We have 5. But we can also bring water and wood and components. So anyway, here's the heap. We get 1 electrical part. Oh, this is nice. We get 1 filter. That's for the water thing, which is good. And we get 1 weapon part. If we have one. Oh yeah, we have a weapon part. Alright, and then we get to roll the die and see what we find. Well, so a 3 is nothing. Oh, that's sad. We could get alcohol from here. That would be so good. And bandages. Alright, so now we're pretty much done with the whole thing. But we have the basement entrance. We can still go into the basement if we want to. We have to raise the noise by 3 and roll for the noise. Then we will get 5 more cards. I like it. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. I'm gambling like crazy here. And we roll the 6. So we're fine. Nothing happened. Right, then we will take 5 cards from the exploration deck. And we will actually keep this card. We can discard it to draw 2 findings cards instead of 1. That's going to be awesome. All right, let's find some stuff. And we found some furniture. The problem is it's private. I don't know. How much am I going to gamble? I feel like gambling in this gameplay, to be honest. So we're going to return to exploration cards. I'm not going to roll again. Let's return to exploration cards this time. Let's play it a little bit safe. So we're turning 2. But now we're going to give this up so that we get 2 cards on the furniture instead of 1. So here we go. Bunch of stuff, I hope. So this is herb, mechanical part, and weapon part. Thing is though, I'm not that excited. We already have a bunch of weapon parts. We already have mechanical part. And they weigh. That's the thing. They weigh stuff. Right now, our weight is at 5 out of the 7 we have. So I'm going to do it like this. I'm not going to look at the other card. I'm just looking at this and I'm deciding for this. We're not going to do this. We're not going to take the stuff. Which means one of the civilians are not going to trigger twice, right? Well, they are on this probably. Then we look at this one. Furniture, weapon part. Oh, raw food. Yeah. Here we go. We're going to take the food. We need food. And we get a weapon part. If there is a weapon part in here, I don't know. We already have 3. Oh, okay, there's 1 more. Alright, so now we have all that stuff. We're going to roll the die. The 3, we don't get anything. And then we are going to, because this was private, we're going to have to resolve both the civilians. So we're going to roll for twice. This could go so bad. We're going to roll twice for empathy. So let's start with Emilia. She doesn't care that much. She only has 3 empathy. And as an 8, she's fine. And that's a 3. She does care. Okay, so she gets a little bit miserable because we stole stuff. Then we're gonna roll for Pavle. He might die soon. Oh wow, this game. Okay, so he has 6. And that's a 3, so he does care. He becomes miserable level 2. We roll again for him. That's a 1, so yeah. He is miserable level 3. Which means he loses an action, but also if he goes to 4, well, that's not good. So he's really miserable because we've been stealing stuff out here. Couldn't care that much though, Pavle. Come on, we need to survive. But yeah, he doesn't like it. Tokens get stuck in the box. Go. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna trade with them. That's actually my plan. Because now we have a bunch of stuff that really weighs a lot, so I think we're gonna go trade with them now. Because I want food, that's the thing. Basically, these things... Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna trade with them. So when we trade with them, or we could just trade with the hospital. But that takes 6 exploration cards. Wow, that's expensive. No. We're gonna trade with the civilian. So we return 1 card. And we see 993. See what they have. We don't even know if they have any good stuff, but 993. Okay, so they have broken weapon, ammo, weapon parts, herbal meds, herbs, chems, books, mechanical parts, electrical parts. So, oh, they have a saw blade, shovel, coffee, sugar, cigarettes, moonshine, and there's no trade commission. That's good. Well, I definitely want the saw blade. On the other hand, we can create a saw blade over here with just 1 weapon part and 1 component. We can already build a saw blade, and this costs 5. We only have 1 bar here, so it's not like we need more than 1 saw blade. So what would we get? We can give up these things. I'm gonna pull them down here. Is there anything else we would like to build though? We could build a hatchet if we have a wood and 2 weapon parts. Oh, we have the weapon parts. A hatchet would be really good. Lock picks would be good as well, but then we need mechanical parts. Yeah, okay. Wow, this is tricky. I am going to... These are the things that we sort of can give up. We don't have that much value. We have 3, 5, 7, 8. We could give up the chems. We don't really need the chems. So 9. What would we want though? They don't have any food. Coffee would be good for her. How much does coffee cost? This is when you need to pull out the whole thing here and start looking through things. Coffee only costs 1. So I do want to trade for that. I don't care about herbal meds, herb chems, broken weapon. Ammo is good for the mission, but we already have what we need for the mission. For the objective. I was hoping they had some food. We could get a book for Anton. I guess. I don't know. Or we just get a saw blade. We save an action by getting a saw blade now. Because the saw blade would cost a weapon part anyway to build. If we did something like this would be 4, 5. Yeah, okay, let's do that. We're gonna take the saw blade and the coffee. That's a total of 6. This is 2, 4, 6. We're doing that. Because then we save an action as well. Good. And we're saving the electrical part. Because I do want to be able to build. There's a bunch of stuff that needs electrical parts to build. So that wasn't the best trade in the world, but I don't know. I guess it's okay. At least we saved some time. I mean, we don't have that many actions now because people are going to be... I did forget something, by the way. I forgot something. When we go out, like when you decide what they're going to do for the night, you also need to... I did forget this. So I'm sort of cheating a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. When we decided here that these 2 were going out scavenging, they became fatigued 1. And then since Anton is standing guard, he becomes fatigued 1. So they're all a bit tired now. But we can fix that with the bed and so on. But we should put that on right away when you decide what they're going to do for the night. Because if they're gonna go sleep in the bed or on the floor, then you don't give them the fatigue. All right. So we have one more card, and I think we're actually gonna talk to the civilians. I don't think that's gonna do anything, but oh no, let's look at the card. Let's look at the card. It's rubble. There's no rubble here, so let's draw another card instead. It's bars. Oh, there are bars here, but now we have a saw blade. Oh. But to do this, we need to have a saw blade, and we need to return to exploration cards and roll for the noise. We don't have any more exploration cards, so we can't do it. If we did, we would get 6 new cards and a finding cards pantry. All right, well, we can't do it, so that's gonna end the exploration here. So now we're gonna go to the whole, like, what do we want to bring back home? And as I said, I'm playing with the advanced rules, which means we could choose to stash some stuff here. We could place it on the card. Then if we go back to this card, we will have to roll the die. And I don't remember what, but it's like if we get like a 2 or a 3 or whatever it is, then the things will be gone. Someone will have taken them. Otherwise, they're going to be there and we can just bring them home next time instead. But this time we don't need to, because we can bring everything home right now anyway. So I think we're fine. But the waiter is going to be 4, and we have a total of 7 because Pavle can carry 4 stuff and Emilia can carry 3. We have a total of 7. This is weighing 4, which is perfect because then we're going to bring home 4 water, or 3 water, I mean. So we get up to 7, and they weigh 1 each. So we're going to bring the water as well. We could bring components and wood if we had more carrying capacity. All right. That was a long night. And now we are heading back home. But before we get home, we are going to resolve a night raid card. So Anton is standing guard. He has the dog with him, which is good. And actually what we should have done, I'm going to shuffle these up. I forgot to do it. When we have the dog, we can always look at the top card of the night raid deck. We would know what's coming. But we forgot to do that. So yeah, we're just going to look at this now. Oh, it's a reality impact. Okay. Something unexpected has happened. So we take the color cards again. We draw a card to determine which script it is. It's going to be red. Okay. Just get the bad ones. At least thematically. And then we look at the top card of the night raids. It is 867. Okay. We're doing 867. Mm-hmm. 867. Here we go. Our eyes open widely with utter dread. 5 well-armed soldiers surround our shelter. Their seemingly friendly shouts of "we only wanted to have a drink and sleep in a bed" are no comfort to us. We can make a choice. We have to make a choice here. We can let them in, or we definitely don't let them in. And what's gonna happen probably is that they're gonna shoot us and steal our stuff. That's what usually happens in this action. It would be terrible if we lost our shovel. We don't have that much stuff, but I want the weapon parts as well because I want to build a hatchet so we can use it later on to defend. I think we're gonna have to let them in. Now we could just ignore. We can't ignore it actually. The dog says we can give up the dog. We can sacrifice the dog to ignore a night raid card. But this, I don't think we can do it when it's a. We don't want to give up the dog this early anyway. So I think we're gonna let them in because right now there's an old man, a cat, and a dog. And just a few things in here. They can come in if they want to. We have a bed, they can sleep in it, so let's do it. The soldiers come into our shelter. They smirk at one another. Was this a serious mistake? Discard all cigarettes, jewelry, 100% alcohol, and moonshine from the storage. Okay, so they're going to take all that stuff, but we don't have any of that. Yeah. On this night, all beds are unavailable. Pull characters off the beds and set their fatigue to 2, but nobody was sleeping in the bed. Okay, this is really gross here. So warning again, warning. Also, if there is a woman in your group, the soldiers won't leave her alone. Choose which female character. Are we going to risk our lives to protect her? Now we have an old man, Anton, so we don't need to decide if we're going to protect That's really dark. Okay. Well, back to the game. All right. So we are done with the night raid. It was way worse than I expected. Well, again, that was the red. The red and the blacks are the worst thematically, so you might not want to play with those if you don't like that. All right, so we are back home, which means we're gonna bring back our characters, and we are going to get all the stuff back home. I'm gonna sum it up here. I'm gonna look at what we have here. So we have some coffee, saw blade, which I'm really happy for, a vegetable, some raw food, some water, so important, and an electrical part here. And I think right away, because I think the objectives is, it says at any moment, I think you can do this at any time you want. At any moment, you may discard ammo and alcohol for each discarded token, advance the objective marker by 1 or 2 respectively. Before we do anything else, because something might happen and we might lose the alcohol or whatever. So I'm just gonna give up 2 alcohol, which takes us 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 ammo. So we are done with this objective. But we're not gonna get the reward right now, though. That's a bit sad. Well, it's sort of not sad because we can do a trade with any token, and we don't want to do that right now because we don't have that many good stuff to trade. We will do that when we get to the end of chapter 1, which is in 2 days, I think, or something like that in the game. So we're giving up all this. It was really valuable though, 20 in value. But yeah, I'm happy that we completed the objective. It looked really hard from the beginning, but all right. So that was the whole, basically, that was the whole like scavenging and the findings and the night raid. And then if we have weapons, we can defend ourselves during the night raid as well. And now we're going to do the crime wave. So this is, we have to shuffle 2 cards in any combination, night raids or residents, into the corresponding decks. And this will just make the game worse. And I'm going to do residents. Even though residents are nasty, you can sort of avoid these. The night raids, they just happen. And I'm going to take 2 residents. Because I think night raids are even worse, especially in the beginning of the game. There's also another thing to take into account here. We have 3 of these holes in the house. And we can do the board up action to board them up. If we do, then that will help us against night raids and against cold. Right now we don't have any board ups, so that's why I really want to be careful adding anything to the night raid deck. So that was the day basically. Now at the dawn here, we come home with the items. Now we can assign meds and bandages. So if we had bandages, we would give them to Anton right now because he has wounds. But we don't have that. Now we're going to draw a fate card. So it's the deck over here. Have this fate deck. If I can reach it. Go. Really tricky game to film with all these things going on, and it just takes up a lot of space. I did forget, by the way, if we wanted to, before we went home, we could have gone to the heart of the city and resolved one of these cards, but I didn't see that as a good option here on the first day, and it's not like it's going that great for us in some regards. I am happy that we found the saw blade, or like traded for it. That was really good. But now we're going to resolve a fate card. So the way these work is that we're going to go through it in order. So it starts off with raise the wounds of all wounded, unbandaged, that was hard to say, unbandaged characters by 1. And again, yeah, this is tough. This is really tough. So for Anton, he now has a level 3 degree wounds, which means he has no actions at all. He can't do anything this day. He's just in bed. He's wounded. Then heal the wounds of everyone who has bandages. We didn't have any bandages, so if cold tokens minus board ups equals 3 or more. So right now we have no cold because it's still like summer or whatever. There's no cold up here. It's gonna add later on. and we have no board ups to deduct from that. But if we had that and it ended up to be 3 or more, 3 characters would get illness 1 step, or like raise the illness of 3 characters by 1. Then we're going to exchange the nearest location, and so it's good that we didn't, stash anything here, because this is the nearest location. So this is gone. Now we can't get to the hospital anymore. It could be some shooting or whatever happening there. We can't get there. So we're gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna draw something else. And these will slide down. But again, it's thematically, it's not like these got closer. It's just that like we know how to get there. And then we find the central square, which is a really dangerous place from what I recall correctly. So that's up there. But it's not like we're going to go there anyway, because there's only 10 cards if we go there. We're probably going to go to the construction site next then. Then we're going to resolve weight tokens. We don't have any weight tokens right now. But some actions that we do will let us put out a weight token, and then something will happen. Like if we're hunting for food in the basement with a trap, then we might, resolve that, see if we found any food in the trap or not. That could happen. Then we're going to resolve Spirit B on all characters. And then this card is, we're going to shuffle this back in here. So Spirit B, we take a look at each character. So Spirit B on Emilia is, if there are at least 2 cold tokens on the cold space, she gets erase her misery by 1. There's no cold, so we don't worry about that. If Anton is hungry, which he is, he's level 2 or 3, raise his illness by 1. So he became ill as well. Anton is not doing that great. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's like more like a, yeah. Then over here we have, if Pavli is wounded, level 2 or 3, raise his misery by 1. He's not wounded, so nothing happens. So that's how we activate these spirits effect here. That will affect their mood and their health and all that. Then, finally, we are going to do something positive. We're going to draw a narrative action card. And narrative action cards are the only deck in the game that is really good for us. And in this deck, there's a bunch of good cards with special actions we can do and, positive things. We're going to draw 2. We're going to read them, choose one, and shuffle the other one back into the deck. And then this is where I will need your help as well, because I will ask you in the chat to help me out and decide which card we're going to take, because that could affect the gameplay here later on. So it's either Rumors, play at any time, and we're going to keep this card around, then we can play it at any time. Take a look at the top card from any 2 of the following decks: Events, Visitors, Residents, and Night Raids. Not that great. Or we can do Resourceful, play when crafting any fitting, ignore the requirement for one of the resource or token types. This is, I don't even need to ask you guys really. Let me know if you have any input on this. I mean, the Rumors is nice, but like, we need to craft stuff right now. So yeah. This makes more sense. We don't have that much stuff to use. So, I mean, it would be nice to be able to look at the visitor deck, because we could do an action. We're probably going to do that at some point. Go out here and resolve a visitor card. And if we know what the visitor that's coming is, then that would help. Yeah. Hey Loki, by the way. Yeah, you're on my team here. We're gonna do Resourceful. And I'm gonna put the cards on the side here, so I don't need to grab them over there. Okay. So we have this one. We'll put it down basically in our stuff here, so we remember to use it later on. And we get one of these each day, so we could have gotten something to like help us heal someone or whatever. But okay. So there's one more thing to do in the day, and that is that you can drink alcohol. But since we're playing with the advanced rules, we can drink alcohol anytime we want. But if you drink moonshine, you raise the chosen character's fatigue by 2, but lower the misery by 1. If you drink 100% alcohol, you raise their fatigue by 1 and lower their misery by 1. So if someone is really miserable, like Pavlo over here, he could need a drink. But, you know, we gave up our alcohol. So we don't have that anymore. And then we also check if anyone have died or left the group. Then we roll the black die, compare the result with the empathy, and the misery goes up by 2 if it matches the empathy. And then it also lets you, like, here you can save if you need to. There's a save system for the game. If you know, because it's a long game, you might not play it all in one sitting. But we are going to do it. I'm just going to leave it on the table until we're done. All right. So that is that. That's 1 day of this war of mine. And I think we are gonna just start the second day. And this time I'm not gonna explain. I'm gonna go through this point a little bit, but I'm not gonna explain everything. So we're just gonna keep playing, I guess. I kind of want to, in a way, I want to go out and find another character, because I think we are going to lose 1 or 2 of these characters that we already have. Sad to say, but yeah. So we're gonna start the day off with the event deck and draw the top card. And the first thing we look at here, it says add 3 tokens to the cold space. So it's getting cold very quickly. So now we have cold 3, which is terrible because people are gonna start to get ill and so on, or it's gonna get worse and worse. We have 3 cold tokens. I think there's like 6 cold tokens in total. Yeah. So 3 in 1 sweep. That's terrible. Okay, then we found there's an airdrop. If no character went scavenging during the previous night, well, we did. Otherwise, I always go scavenging. It's very rare that I don't go scavenging. Okay. But if we didn't go scavenging, instead we would have found an airdrop and would have gotten 2 canned food, 3 cigarettes, and a med. Okay. That didn't help us at all. Alright, that was that card. Didn't help us at all. Oh well. Okay, so then we do the actions, right? The actions. Now we have a problem here. And, well, you guessed it. He doesn't have any actions. They have 2 each. And now, like, now it wouldn't help. Like, we could eat some raw food here. He would go down to 1 in hunger. She would go down to 1 in hunger. But she still only would have 2 actions, because she's fatigued as well. But she could go rest in the... She could take a nap then. Same goes for Pavlo over here, and he's so miserable. So let's see. I think we will do that then. I think we will do that. Oh, that's true. Anton can still guard even though he's wounded. Thank you, Ime. Alright, so we're gonna do this. She's gonna eat some raw food. Again, advanced rules. That's why she can do it. Which means her hunger goes down 1. Then she's going to have... She still only has 2 actions. He doesn't have any actions, and Pavle has 2 actions. Then her first action will be to go take a nap. And Pavle's first action will be to go and cut through this using the saw blade. I don't think that does that destroy the saw blade? I don't remember now. Stay here. In the computer game, the saw blade breaks after a while, but it doesn't say so. I don't remember. Anyway, they're doing their actions. He's just chilling over here. Actually, we should do the cat first. Let's do the cat first of all. So we're gonna roll for the cat. If we get a 5 to 7, then Pavle's misery will go down because he will be petting the cat. That would be awesome. Come on. Oh, 6. Perfect. So, I always liked cats. Lower one chosen character's misery by 1. So the cat can actually save us. No, we shouldn't do that. You should go to a 2. The other side of the 1. So that was helpful. The cat. I really like the cat. It just can give us food and yeah. Alright, so we did the cat, and now let's do the actions. So they both using one of their actions. She's taking a nap though, so she gets one action back basically. Now she has, because she gets rid of her fatigue. So now she has 2 more actions left. This system, it can be a bit confusing, because like she had 2 to begin with. She used her first to sleep off the fatigue, and then all of a sudden she has 2, but that's how it works. And Pavle has 1 left. So we should also resolve this. We get something from the bars. It is 3 components and a mechanical part. That's good. I don't really know how that works, like thematically. I always thought that was weird. Why do you get a mechanical part from? It could just be some bars that we cut through. But anyway. Right, so that's gone. Now we can get in here. This is going to be fun. This is where we're going to start getting some good stuff. So we're going to do the second action with both characters. And they are going to go... Now the question is, should they go just search heaps, both of them? Or should one go and... No, this is a heap if we roll an 8 to 10. Of course they're going to do... They're both going to do searches down in the basement. Let's see what they find. He found, oh nice, 5 components and 5 wood. What I'm going to do now is, this is gone. I'm going to put the stuff down here. There's a spot for storage times 5. So if I put them here, it's like I have 5 of each of those. Just make it easier. And then he found 5 more wood. Wow, we're swimming in wood now. But as I said, this map is hard the first day. But once you get through this and you get into these things, you get good actions here. It's actually might be easier than the normal map. Right, that was nice. And we also found a lockpick, which is perfect because we needed a lockpick. Because we still have locked doors up there. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, now we're getting lucky here. Feeling good about this. Shouldn't say that though. You know, should never say stuff like that in a survival game. So now we have one more action for Emilia, but now we have some options. She could go. She could do this, which is not that great. She could search, maybe find a heap. She could take this heap to search this, which would be good. She could poke about and find parts. So this is one. You roll the die. 1 to 4, you get nothing. 5 to 6, you get 1 mechanical or 1 electrical part. 7 to 8, 2 of those, or 9 to 10, 3 of those. This is a way for us to just find those parts, which is so good. Or she can go here, find wood and components, and then any number of characters can go here. So this is also good if we have a bunch of characters. We can just everyone can go there if we have a lot of actions. Oh yeah, that's true. We don't discard a soul blade. It's just a lockpick. So she could do these. She could do the heap. But there's one more thing she could do, which I would like her to do. Well, she could pick the lock. But since we're going this path around here, we want to get to the storehouse. I mean, we want to get to here to get the wild garden at some point, but... So she has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good things she could be doing. But I want her to do the 6th thing. So I want her to go here, and I want her to build... I want her to build a workshop. Because we need to get these board ups going, especially since we have 3 cold already. So we need this so we can start making board ups. Tomorrow, we can't do them right now, but we need to build this first of all. So this is going to cost 1 mechanical part and 5 components. We just remove this from over here from the 5 times space. And 3 wood. We remove 1 of these and we put 2 wood back in exchange. And now we have a workshop, so that's nice. Feeling good about this actually. It's just day 2 done. We already have this open. We have the workshop. We have a bed. We have a metal workshop. We could make a hatchet tomorrow. We have the stuff for it. We could have made a hatchet now actually instead of doing this, which would have been good because then we could have had it for defense when we do the night raid. But we don't have any actions on Anton. So if we if he didn't get that wounded, we would have more actions. So I think we're pretty much done there for the day. I think we are done. And I mean, we didn't use this. When we could have used this when we built the workshop to like just ignore one type of requirement. So we could have done this and not used any components or any wood or any mechanical part. But we have so much stuff now, so I don't really worry about that. We will use this at some point, of course. But all right, so let's go to the next step, which is when we need to feed everyone in the dust. So first of all, they all need to drink water. We have 3 water. Now we could be really harsh here and not give Anton any water. I can't do that. Like, I want to role play a little bit in these kind of games. From a gameplay perspective, it would make sense to not spend water on him. Because we're probably going to lose him. But I'm not going to play it like that. That's just too terrible. So everybody is going to get a drink of water. Then we need to feed them. And we only have a vegetable. So I think Pavle will get it. Because he's already hunger level 2. If he goes to hunger level 3... Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to do it like that. We only have 1 vegetable, so... So he's eating a vegetable, which means he's not increasing in hunger. He goes to hunger 2. And poor Anton going to hunger 3. It's terrible, but, you know, don't really have that many options right now. And we're not feeding the dog either. So the dog might run away. That's a 3. That means that the dog is running. No, come on. That's terrible. The dog is tired of not being fed. He runs away. We don't have the dog anymore. Oh, wow. That was terrible. That was terrible. We really could have used dog in defense for the night raid. Okay. And before he went, we should have looked at the top card of the night raid deck, but I forgot that again because I'm not used to playing with the dog, but you know, it is what it is. So now we are going to go into the night phase. So everybody's going to get a fatigue. So Anton is going to stand guard. We're going to do the same thing again. He's on guard. He has the cat with him. It's not really going to help him. These guys are going to go out scavenging. And now I remember to give them fatigue. And now we're doing scavenging again. Did really good in some ways last time, except for the misery maybe because we kept stealing from the civilians. But we'll see how it goes this time. We're going to go to the construction site. We can find vegetables and a shovel. That's not that exciting. Over at the Quiet House, we can find vegetable meds and canned food. Oh, canned food would be nice. This place has open space, which is not good because you can get sniper shot. It has bars and rubble. No, what? We're gonna go to the Quiet House. That sounds more comfortable. It only has basement entrances and a closed door. And with this better stuff we can find here. We're going here. And that means we're going to get 12 instead of 14. We're going to get 12 cards. It's not that big. I mean, 12 is still good, I think. So, I think it's worth it. I think it's better than... Because we might find, like... There's a basement entrance. Then we can get more cards that way. 12 cards. 3, 6, 9, 10, 12. And we're going to resolve them one by one. So here we go. We start off with a pokeabout. You may ignore this card or pokeabout. Return 1 exploration card or roll for the noise. To choose 1 finding from the special finding chart for this location. Oh, we can choose. Okay. We're going to roll for the noise. 1? Are you kidding me? I'm so bad at rolling dice. Okay, we meet someone, first of all. I'm so bad at rolling dice. I should stick to Gloomhaven. And so on. Oh, civilians again. How lovely. Hello. We're back. Well, we're at a different place now. But okay, so we met civilians. And we can't steal stuff because then Pablo will probably die because he's already miserable. So now we're going to poke about though. We can choose one finding, which means we can choose anything we want from here. And we're going to take canned food. Because that is great. Canned food lowers hunger by 2. And Pablo is hungry, so that will be so good. Well, they're both hungry, but yeah, that will be so important. Okay. Next up, we have basement entrance, and as I said, there is a basement entrance here, so raise the noise by 3 and roll for the noise. I'm gonna do that. 1, 2, 3. Roll for the noise. And we roll a 1 again, of course. So we meet some and more civilians. Okay, so we're definitely not gonna steal anything in this this night. Okay, after entering though, add 5 cards to the exploration deck. Or 5. And then we can discard this card. Oh yeah, we should keep this card. We can discard it to get 2 findings instead of 1. So we're gonna do that. And then we find furniture, but it's private. And since I'm doing, we're gonna roll double for these, and he's already at mystery 2. He could die, and that will like break the whole playthrough, I think. So we're not gonna search. We're just gonna ignore this card. Bars, there's no bars here, so we draw another card to replace it, and that's climb up. Look for another way. Return 3 exploration cards, or we can climb. Roll the gray combat die, and see if how many wounds we get. We're not gonna risk wounds. We're gonna return 3 cards. Just got extra cards. So next up we have someone's here. Raise the noise by 3, so the noise is already up to 7. No, it's down to, it went down to 1 because we met the civilians, and now it goes back up to 4. Tough luck. Roll for the noise. We're getting lucky here. That's a 2. This game. So we meet some survivors, alright? It's new for us here. Determine the number of survivors encountered. Roll the black die. The 4, so we're going to have 2 survivors. We're going to draw these tokens to see how they are armed. We found one with a hatchet and one with a knife. Okay, that could have been worse. Not that it matters, we're not going to fight them anyway. So we have 2 of these guys. Well, these guys have knives in their hands, but they will represent one with a hatchet, one with a knife. Right? And then we have like a little grid here, so we can mark when they get wounded and severely wounded if we're fighting them. You don't really fight that often in the game, but... Then it says, place this card on the exploration slot. Until you leave this location, whenever you take anything from the pantry or furniture, roll the black die. If we get a 1 to 4, we see 99, which means we're probably going to have to fight them. We can return an exploration card to talk to them or trade with them. And I just realized something. I'm cheating here. I am cheating here without knowing it, because it says at the civilian card, it says at the end of scavenging, remove the card from the game. So the civilian shouldn't even be here anymore. The survivor is going to be shuffled back in. But I'm going to cheat. I didn't see that when I played through the last night. So these shouldn't have been here, which means we should have drawn 2 other from here, which would have been much worse. So I'm just going to cheat a little bit since I didn't see it. So now we have survivors here. So we can't steal anything because then the civilians will make us feel bad. And we can't take anything from a pantry or furniture. So, yeah. All right, let's keep going. And rubble. There's no rubble here. So we draw another card instead. It's a jammed door. There's no jammed door here. So we draw another one. Closed door. There is a closed door. Okay. So we can pick the lock if we had a lock pick. Oh, I didn't think about that. We should have brought a lockpick because... Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, so we can't do this. Door. Peek through the keyhole. Return an exploration card to look at the next card. Or enter. Raise the noise by 1 or roll for the noise. We're just going to raise the noise by 1. No, we're going to roll. We can't roll another 1. Come on. That's a 9. Okay. So we're fine. Then we keep going. Not cheating. Well, it wasn't intentional cheating. It was just that I didn't read the text fully. Okay, I think I saw something. Return as many exploration cards as you wish and roll the black die. This is like the worst exploration or scavenging ever. I'm gonna return 2 cards. Then I'm gonna roll. Roll the 6, so we're fine. We didn't even need to return it. Nothing happens. Search the heap. Oh! This is like the only card we could find that actually works. We can't search pantry or furniture because then they get upset. We can't steal, but this is not private, so we can search the heap. Okay, we are going to raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. I'm gonna roll at 2 and roll the 10, alright? And we're gonna give up this card so we can find 2 finding cards instead of 1. Because this is basically the whole thing we're gonna do this night, is this search here. We're gonna get 2 findings cards, and it is heap. The first one, we get electric part, filter, and a shell. Not great, but you know, I'll take it. It's something. Shell, electric part, and a filter. And we roll the die, see what we get. It's a 7, which is a vegetable. Oh, nice. Like that. The other one is a reality impact. Right. So, let's find colors deck. And we have blue, alright? It's blue. Then we look at the... We look at the findings. Oh, we look at the rare findings. We look at this actual... we look at the space we're in. Check the number with that color on the rare findings chart on the current... Okay, so here, rare findings. Because we're not doing exploration, we're doing findings. And we're going to find something rare. And it's going to be blue, so it's 102. It's 102. This could be good. This could be something really good. Let's hope for... 102. We sometimes enter the houses of people who fled or were simply killed. We seldom know who the occupants were or who that house used to belong to. Usually there's evidence scattered around that reveals the identities of personalities of the previous owners, photos and the like. Right now, we know we're in a house where folks used to do a lot of reading. There's a book on one of the shelves that somebody wrapped with a delicate embroidered scarf. The book has no author or title. We open it and browse through it. The tome had been written by hand. The only word on the opening page is hope. Draw and resolve 1 card from the findings deck, furniture chart. Afterwards, write manuscript 102 and 4 things on a blank token and place it on the findings pile. Treat it as a book token. So we will draw and resolve a card from the findings deck furniture chart. Which means we're going to have to interact with those survivors. If we take something, we'll see. Furniture says weapon part, raw food. Oh, we're gonna gamble on that? I think we are, because we need food. We're gonna take the raw food and the weapon part. We're gonna roll the die. An 8 means we get another vegetable. Nice. Right. Then we're going to have to... I think we're gonna do this in the middle of this. Because we did a furniture chart, so we're going to do the survivors. Oh, we're going to have to do it afterwards because we're going to have to do stuff here. Anyway, so let's put it here so we remember. that we're gonna have to we're gonna have to roll a die. Let's see if we even have to do it. No, we don't. It's a 6. Okay, so if it was 1 to 4, yeah, 1 to 4, we would have to see 99. They were probably getting angry because we're taking stuff, but they don't care now. They didn't see it probably. All right, so now we go back to this thing that we're doing. We're gonna have to take, and there's like these tokens. It's like these little unmarked things. But the thing is, I don't want to use those because that makes it into a kind of legacy game. You know, we only have a few of those, so if we ran out of those, then I don't know. At some point, I might want to sell the game or whatever. I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm just going to take a piece of paper and a pen. We're going to write down. Let's see here. We're going to write down manuscript. 102. It's so that we can remember. We need to go back here. Basically. And then we're going to make 4 lines on this. So we're going to have 4. I think we're going to be able to like read this manuscript 4 times. We're going to put it in the findings pile. And we're going to treat it as a book. As a book token. Which means it doesn't weigh anything. So that's good. And then the effect of this is you may choose one character present, cross out 1 line, and roll the black die during any phase except scavenging. Compare the result with this character's empathy. A result that is equal to or lower than their empathy lowers their misery by 1. This we can read the manuscript, that will lower people's misery. That is awesome because we can save Pavle this way. All right, back to the game. Yeah, I love those. I love when you get those special findings because you can find, like in this case, we find this manuscript, and that's how they can do it with, like, there's just certain amount of tokens in the game, right? But then they have these like special tokens based on whatever happens in the game. It's so cool. That's why I love this game. It's so cool. Oh, that's true. Ime is saying that when we find like some private card, can we put it to the side and decide later if we want to do it or not? I don't think so. I mean, it says draw and resolve. I don't think you can put it on the side like you're saying. I'm not sure though. Sounds too good to be true. Then it says, after we've done this, place this card under the current location card. So basically, if we go back here, we can't have the same thing happening once again. So that's why you place the reality impact under here. So it can happen at another location. I mean, we still have a few rare findings that we haven't seen, 4 of them. But it's just so that we can't get the exact same thing twice, because that would be weird thematically. And I will tell you, I don't want to spoil it too much, but I will tell you, in one of my playthroughs, I did like, I don't know, a few months ago, I actually found like a, what's it called? Like a drill, like a 2-handed drill. It was really heavy. But when I brought it home, I could clear rubble like crazy. So there's all these kind of cool items you can find. And it's like, I never seen the same thing twice. Because there's so many locations, there's so many, the different colors. It's so much variation. You're not going to get to see everything in the game, even if you keep playing, I guess. Alright, so that was everything for that card. A lot of things happened, but I like that manuscript. That's going to really help us out. So let's do another exploration. It is stairs up. Look for another way. Return to exploration cards. We can't even do that. We only have 1. Or we can enter, raise the noise by 2, and roll for the noise. How much weight do we have now, though? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to risk meeting more people. And the problem with these is we can't, even if we keep going and find something, we can't really do much with it anyway. So I am just gonna choose to end exploration right there. So yeah, the exploration ends. Now we're going to remember to do this correctly. The civilians are gone. They're not here anymore. So that basically makes the residence deck worse, because now they are gone. This is going to get shuffled in, though. Oh, so Emi is doing some house rule that he can give the stuff back. Oh, that's a house rule, I guess. All right. So yeah, we're going to return these cards, but before we go home now, these guys are not here anymore. Before we go home, I want to take a look at the heart of the city. So this is an expansion expansion module. So before you end your exploration, you can choose to go to the heart of the city and see if you find some more stuff, and so on. So we're gonna draw one of these, and we are in chapter 1. So we're gonna roll the die, see what we face. It's a 4, so we are going to look at H6, and this one is not in the app, so we have this book instead that we look in. So we're gonna look at H6, what we found. Wanna buy an amulet? Protects you against sniper fire, a haggard seller calls to us. We can see he's practiced in this. Before the war, he must have sold souvenirs in the streets, but circumstances has forced him to change his stock. Festooned with found trinkets and necklaces made from sharpnel, he looks marginally better than most of the customers who are milling around the square. It seems that selling hope is a profitable business. The salesmen follow us. He won't give up and keeps trying to sell us his wares. We drive him away, not sparing any use of harsh words. The man's face gets red like a hot gun barrel. Nothing else can protect you against snipers, only me. He's not the only one to make such promises. When the war broke out, half the world promised us the same thing, and their promises were worth as much as this beggar's amulet. Finally, we leave him behind, his sales pitch still echoing in our ears. He'll definitely find a client. People really want to believe. Back to the game. Just a bit of story. Could have been some fun stuff that we would have gotten, but we just got a bit of story. Nothing bad happened though, at least. So we're just gonna shuffle this back in here. And that's like, you can get more story and you can actually find some stuff here as well. So, all right. So we're heading back. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in weight. I think we are going to leave this. Do we need 2 electrical parts? What do we need electrical part for? I want to build a rainwater collector, but we have the stuff for that one. So electrical parts, a radio. That's not that great, I think. The radio is to lower misery. But we have the manuscript now. Vegetable garden, a door would be good, I guess. But yeah, I don't think we need that right now. We can also find parts down here. We can poke about and find mechanical and electrical parts on this map. So I don't think we need that. So we're going to leave the electrical part and we're going to leave the weapon part on this location, which means we could get them later on if we go back here. So then our weight is 1, 2, 3. So then we could take water, and I'm actually going to take 4 water, even though we only need 3 sort of, but like we don't need to bring, we have 7 wood, we have 7 components. You can take wood, components, and water as much as you like. It weighs 1 each. So I'm just going to take 4 water. I think that makes most sense. And the main, like we found 2 vegetables, a canned food and a raw food. The dog has already run away, so we only need 3 food. And we have water. So we have 1 more water and 1 more food than we need right now. And we have the manuscript. I'm pretty happy with this night scavenging, actually. Turned out okay. But I'm scared now, because now we are going to do the night raid. And we don't have the dog, so he can't help us out. I was hoping to have him to save us when we get some really bad card. So we're going to see what happened to poor Anton. He's really wounded. He didn't even get some sleep. He has to watch the door. It's also a really funny and weird thing in this game. If you don't put anyone on guard duty, the book says that, okay, if nobody's there, then you have to read a certain number in the book, the storybook. And spoiler, but what happens is you lose the game. So that's so weird. You have to have someone on guard, otherwise you just lose the game straight out. So anyway, let's look at the night raid, and it's starving people. Okay, the starving people are showing up at the door. They will steal 4 tokens, resources, starting with green tokens. They will steal our coffee and our sugar, and then 2 more things. And we can choose whatever that is then, because it doesn't say. And they will do 1 wound, which would kill Anton. Oh my, this game. But Anton doesn't have a gun or a weapon. Maybe we should have made a hatchet instead of making the workshop, so at least he could have defended himself. But he can still defend himself with his fists. Anton has 0 prowess though, so we cannot reroll. Oh, this is so bad. I'm sorry I'm laughing here, but I'm just laughing in despair. This is so bad. Poor Anton. Come on. At least get 1 hit so we can... No, he missed. You know, he's wounded. He couldn't even give a fight. The starving people killed Anton. That's so terrible. Alright. So, Anton is gone. Just remove everything here. So basically, when the other guys come home, they find Anton. And it's not going to be pretty. Oh well. I did kind of set him up to like take all this. I did give him water. I feel good about at least we gave him water last day. We didn't give up on him totally. But yeah, he's gone. And we also lose 4 tokens. We lose the coffee and the sugar. And then we get to choose tokens or resources. And I think we are going to lose the shell. And we're going to lose a wood. Yeah. And then shuffle this back into the nitrate deck. Alright. What a tough game. It's such a tough game. But also that's why I like it. I like that. You know, I like these. When I play these, like it's like Robinson Crusoe. When I play these really hard co-op games, I'm mostly like laughing at everything happening because it's just, yeah, what can you do, right? We bring this home. Well, now we don't need 3 water. Like looking at the bright side of things. And wait, we have a bunch of food. We have some stuff here as well. And we have a filter, which is good. I want to make one of those water collectors so we don't need to bring water back from our scavengers. And let's see, am I missing something? So we're coming home. We can assign meds and bandages. But before we do anything else, we are gonna go straight in. So Pavle is going to read. Wait, when we read the manuscript, I have to check this. What did it say about the manuscript? 102. Yeah, just lowers empathy. Perfect. Okay. So before we go, like when we came back home, the first thing Pavle did was just, oh, we found this manuscript. He's gonna read it 2 times, and he's gonna get rid of his misery. He's not miserable anymore. I like that. And then Emilia is also gonna read a little bit, get rid of her misery. Maybe I'm overusing it, but it's so good to just get rid of these. So like, because things might happen that raises their misery and so on. You know, if we get Spirit B or C, she will go up by 1. So we have 1 more read on the manuscript left. Still have the cat, that's true. And the cat actually lowered Pavle's misery earlier today, so that was good. And we can't get rid of the cat. Like, we can eat it if we want to, which it would be terrible. But like, would get 2 raw food if we could eat the cat. But if unless we eat it, it's not gonna. It can wander off, but then it comes back tomorrow. So just like cats do. All right. Then we are at the. Here, I'm gonna look here just so I don't forget anything because there's so much happening. We assign meds and bandages. They're not wounded or sick. We will draw a fate card and see what we get. So fate card. Shuffle these up a little bit, and we're gonna draw this one, and it says raise the wounds if they were unbandaged, but they're not wounded, so we don't care. Lower the illness if they took meds. That didn't happen. If cold token minus spore depth equals 5 or more, it's not. We have 3 minus 0, so we have 3, so nobody gets ill. Exchange the nearest small location. Okay, this is kind of bad. So the locations have like a little, this is a medium. The nearest small is the quiet house that we was just at, which means we lose these tokens that we stashed away. It doesn't matter that much, but that could happen. This card, the reality impact, goes back to the findings. So this is gone. we will shift this one down and we'll get a new one, which is the sniper junction. That doesn't sound good. I don't want to go there. All right. Then we're also going to resolve weight tokens. We don't have any weight tokens. Resolve spirit A. Oh, I'm happy that it wasn't the... Oh, it doesn't matter because we... Oh, the starving people stole our coffee. So Emilia will get a bit miserable because she doesn't have any coffee. Now, I think this is silly from a thematic perspective. Like, we're surviving in a war. Would you really get that miserable from not having coffee? I don't know. That's kind of silly, but it's just a game mechanic. So she gets miserable 1, and there's no effect on Pavle's Spirit A. And then we shuffle this back into the deck. And also, there's like dice and things down here. That's resolved if we do like fighting. When we do the fighting with people out there, then we use the fate cards to find out how that goes as well. Then we're going to do the narrative action cards. Oh, thank you, Bjorn. The game is on sale. Bjorn saying in the chat that the game is on a 6 sale on Steam and Android iOS devices. Okay. We're going to do the narrative action. It's a really good game, digital game as well. Can really recommend it. Alright, so we get 2 of these, and we'll see if maybe you guys can help me out here with the decision. So it's either... No! We got rumors again. I don't like rumors. Or secret storage. This is much better. Play at the beginning of the night raid phase. Place any 3 tokens from the storage on this card. They are ignored when the night raid damage is resolved. I'm going to take them. I'm not even going to ask you, actually. Sorry. So this is awesome. It's like we have somewhere we can hide things in the night. So instead of them being stolen, we can put them on here. And we do that, let's see, at the beginning, before we draw the card, we can decide like, okay, we're going to hide our food or whatever in here so it won't get stolen. That is really good. All right, well, we're almost done with this day. There's one more thing we need to do, though. Since somebody left our party in some way, we're going to have to roll Death Among Us. We're going to have to roll for empathy. So bad. And I just realized I cheated again. Why do I keep cheating without meaning to? Because when they read the manuscript, they didn't just go down in misery. I had to roll a die and compare it to their empathy. Yeah. That's what it was. Okay. Sorry. So for Pavle, he went down 2 steps. So he got a 2, which is fine, and he got a 7, which is not fine. So he's still miserable. Level 1. Right. Then for Emilia, she has 3 empathy. And I would have rolled a 6, so she didn't go down in misery at all by reading the manuscript. I just, you know, I read how it worked, and then I kept doing it, and then I forgot about it, and then I remembered it again. So basically, yeah, if they read the manuscript, then it will go down if it matches their empathy. So she's going to roll again. She's going to read the last part of the manuscript. She needs to get a 3, and she got a 6. Okay, so nothing happens. The manuscript is gone. But okay, at least I did it correctly. So somebody probably saw it if you're watching this afterwards and you're like, oh, he's cheating again. But I didn't mean to. I remembered it because now we're going to roll for empathy to see if they care about losing Anton. Emilia might die, actually. I don't know why I'm laughing. All right. So, roll a black die and compare the results with each character's empathy. On a roll equal to or less, they raise the misery by 2. So she has a 3 empathy, and it's a 6. She doesn't care. She didn't like Anton anyway. Pavle, he has 6 and a 1. So Pavle did care. He goes up to 3 in misery. Up by 2. So, you know, he liked Anton. He really misses Anton, so he's up there. All right. So that's bad. But since I'm playing with the module Desperate Measures, when somebody leaves or dies or whatever, then we get to draw one of these cards, and they are all good, I think. I never played with this before, so it's interesting to see what happens. So it says, when a character is removed from the game, draw a Desperate Measure card. Keep it and use it at any time as described on its front. It's just like these cards. We have to eat this. Oh no. Oh no. Some things would normally seem inedible, but now the first bite is the worst. But we swallow and continue. We will do what is necessary to survive. Play during the dusk phase when checking the hunger. You may choose to raise the misery of each character present in the shelter by 1. If you do, treat them as if they just ate raw food. We're not gonna eat Anton. Come on, game. This game is too dark. This game is just... That's just absurd. Yeah, I'm gonna put this card back. Well, you didn't get yeah, I'm not gonna use it. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna eat Anton. That's my limit when it comes to role playing in games. Emilia and Paolo would never do that, so that's not gonna happen. But okay, so we did. That was interesting. We got to look at one of those cards at least. I thought it could be more positive than that, but yeah. We might eat the cat. I'd rather eat the cat in that case. I don't want to eat the cat either. But if it comes down to it and we don't have any food and we're going to lose the game, we could eat the cat to get to raw food rather than eating Anton. Yeah. But it's the same. If we eat the cat, we have to roll for empathy. See if they get sad. Yeah. Alright. This game is so terrible. But at the same time, it's really good. Alright. So that was day 2. And now, next up, we would start day 3. We're going to do the events, all that, do everything again. But I'm not going to do it right now because I am fairly exhausted and I've been talking for like 2 hours. So my voice is starting to give in here. I need to take a break and get some dinner. So I am going to stop here for this live stream. But I will be back tomorrow already. That's why I already scheduled the stream for tomorrow. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central European Time, which is the same as 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be back. I'm just going to leave the game on the table. We'll be back playing it more, and hopefully we can make it tomorrow night. We're going to have basically 4 hours because at 10 tomorrow night, so this will start again 6 p.m. Central European Time tomorrow, Sunday. At 10 p.m. or 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Draco is going to do his Christmas giveaway. So that's going to be much more cheerful. We're going to get away from this depressing game. We're going to have a cheerful giveaway. Draco is going to give away games and promos and fun stuff and dice trays and whatnot. So you guys watching will be able to win some fun stuff or a Christmas present from Draco. So I look forward to that. I hope you do as well. And thank you so much for watching this live stream. We'll be back tomorrow, as I said. And if you're watching this afterwards, you can just tell me in the comment section if you have any questions about the game or anything like that, or if you spot me doing some cheating stuff that I didn't know about, then let me know so that I can correct that maybe even before tomorrow's stream. All right, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you had a good time. It's not really a Christmas spirit themed game, but it's still a really fun game, and I have a good time playing it. I hope you have a good time watching. Have a great evening or morning, or whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye-bye.